about to send you live, okay?
Brilliant, thank you.
Camera's off, Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's live now.
Right, thank you all, and apologies to anyone watching for the delay in beginning the meeting. We were just ensuring that we were quorate and able to proceed with some technical issues. So I'd just like to welcome everyone to this meeting with the Planning Committee on the 7th of December 2021. My name is Denzel Turberville. I'm a solicitor employed by Monmouthshire County Council, and I advise the Planning Committee. This meeting is being held fully remotely. The meeting is being held in accordance with the emergency legislation that enables councils to hold a full council meeting remotely alongside the council's constitution, and ensures that the council can continue to operate and make democratic decisions in an open and transparent way. I would like to remind members that this meeting is still being live streamed to the public, and can I request that you all switch off your cameras and mute your microphones when you're not speaking directly to the committee to ensure there is no unnecessary background noise. All sections of the members' code of conduct still apply to the members in this virtual meeting environment and are as applicable now as they are in a traditional meeting setting. Decisions of this remote committee will hold the same weight as a decision of a normal planning committee, provided that the meeting remains quorate and meets its legislative requirements to make a decision, regardless of whether a member of this meeting is unable to cast their vote due to technical issues. The meeting of the committee will remain valid. Unfortunately, our Chair, Councillor Edwards, and our Vice Chair, Councillor Clark, are both unwell at the moment and unable to carry out their roles as Chair and Vice Chair of this committee for a while. We hope to see them make a speedy recovery and to be back with us soon. In order for the committee to continue performing its functions, we need to therefore nominate a new temporary Chair and Vice Chair to step in until Councillor Edwards and Councillor Clark are able to return. The temporary Chair and Vice Chair will step in at meetings of the Planning Committee and the delegated panel until such time as Councillor Edwards and Councillor Clark are able to resume their roles. As such, the first item of business will be to nominate a temporary Chair and then a temporary Vice Chair, and the following motions will be presented to the committee. Motion 1, to elect whoever is nominated as a temporary Chair for the Planning Committee to sit as such at meetings of the Planning Committee and delegated panel until such time as the permanent Chair shall be able to resume their duties. Motion 2 will be to elect whoever is nominated as a temporary Vice Chair for the Planning Committee to sit as such at meetings of the Planning Committee and delegated panel until such time as the permanent Vice Chair shall be able to resume their duties. If there are any questions, I can take them now. If not, could I please have nominations for the role of temporary Chair?
Thank you, Denzel.
Can I
Could I
nominate-
please pose to Councillor Jordan? Thank you, Denzel.
I'll second that then.
Okay. So we've had a nomination and a second for Councillor Jordan. Can I ask if there are any other nominations? If there aren't any other nominations, then can we have a poll for that in the chat bar?
Sorry, Denzel, I'm having a few technical issues. Just bear with me a second.
That's all right, no worries.
Apologies, members. You have an option 2 there. That shouldn't have been there. Sorry.
And then we take Councillor Feaking's vote verbally as well, as he's unable to vote in the chat. So we've had 5 responses there.
And I'm in favour as well, Matt Beacons.
You're in favour. Lovely, thank you, Councillor Beacons. So that's 6 votes in favour and 2 members have been unable to attend. I'm happy to say that that's been passed. So I will now hand over the meeting to the new chair in order to take nominations for a vice chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Denzel. Thank you, members. If I can ask for nominations for the vice chair of this committee. Any nominations? I'd propose to nominate Councillor Anne Webb?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any further nominations? No. Right, Nicola, if we can go to the vote on that, or Richard rather, can we go to the vote on that one?
So we've had 6 responses back now. Councillor Feekins, would you like to take your vote verbally?
Yes, I was in favour. I seconded it, so I'm in favour. Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you. So that's 7 in favour. There's 1 member unable to. Oh, no, we've had 8 responses now. So that's all in favour. Thank you very much, Chair.
Right, thank you, Denzel, and congratulations, Councillor Webb. Right, if we can now proceed to deal with the agenda. Nicola, do we have any apologies for absence?
Yes, Chair, we have apologies from councillors Ruth Edwards, Clark, Woodhouse, Murphy, Becker, Eason and Alan Davis.
Thank you, Richard. Do we have any declarations of interest, members?
As and when,
As and when, right, no declarations of interest. Right, we'll proceed then to agenda item number 5. That's to confirm the accuracy of the minutes of the previous meeting. So can we, can I ask somebody to move those?
Move, Chairman.
Happy to move. Seconded.
Thank you very much. Right, we'll proceed to agenda item number 6 to consider the following planning application report from the Chief Officer Enterprise, the copy attached, and that's 6A, the proposed revocation of plan consent DM 2020-00817. That's over to you, Craig. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. For the audience at home, Craig O'Connor, Head of Planning for Monmouthshire County Council. This item on the agenda for Planning Committee to consider is to seek approval from the Planning Committee to enable the Council, as a relevant planning authority, to make an order to revoke planning permission DM 2020-00817 for station car park at land south of Seventhorn Junction. The application was presented to the delegated panel for consideration on the 27th of October 2021 with an officer recommendation for approval. Delegation panel subsequently agreed with the officer recommendation and the application was approved on the 28th of October 2021 subject to conditions. It has since come to the planning officer's attention following an internal investigation that unfortunately the application has not been determined in accordance with the council's constitution. This was a human error and it is very unfortunate that this has occurred. The application should have been presented to the Planning Committee for determination, given that it's a council application with objections to the proposals. The report before the Planning Committee today outlines the legal process that the council seeks to follow if the committee agree to make the revocation order under section 97 of the Town and Country Planning Act 1990 in relation to this application. As the report outlines, it is not often expedient for the council to revoke a planning permission once granted. However, in this particular instance, given the council is the landowner and the developer, it is therefore possible for us to make this decision without any reference to any third party. As such, officers considered that as the order is unlikely to be opposed, that there will be no adverse financial implications for making this order, officer considered it expedient to revoke the planning permission to allow it to be represented to a future full meeting of the planning committee for determination where local residents and Rogger Community Council's concerns with the proposed development can be fully considered by the Planning Committee before determining whether the proposed development is acceptable or not. Therefore, as outlined in the report, Planning Committee are being asked to agree to revoke this, to start proceedings to revoke this planning consent. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Craig. That's a very straightforward report. It's clearly administrative oversight here. Do any members wish to make any comment? I think we've got Councillor Giles Howard. Giles.
Thanks and good afternoon, Chairman. Yeah, I understand the report and the presentation from Craig. We're all humans, we're all prone to make mistakes. I'm sure we've all made plenty in our own lives. And I think the recommendation is expedient and the way to solve the issue. So I'm happy to move it. Thank you.
I'm happy to second that, Chair.
Thank you, Giles. Councillor Roger Harris.
Thank you, Chair. Agree entirely with what Giles has just said. Happy to second that we accept.
And Councillor Louise Brown.
Just to say, I'd like to make a comment after the vote on this issue, please. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Well, members, if nobody else wishes to make any comment, can I take us to the recommendation that the committee resolves to authorise the making of the revocation order under section 97 of the Town and Country Planning Act 1990 to revoke the planning application DM 2020-00817 and confirm the order that there's no objection being received from any interested party. So members, if we can take a vote on that, please.
Chair, I'm in favour of the officer's recommendation.
Thank you.
I'm not sure what's going on with my face here on the camera, but just to confirm that we've now had 7 responses, then all are in favour of the revocation, so that order is passed, and we'll begin putting that order together. Thank you, members.
Right, thank you very much. Councillor sorry, Louise Brown, sorry.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I just wondered, before the report comes back to committee, I thought it might be helpful if those who would like to are able to go on a site visit, because I did have a look at the officer report on this matter, and I think it would be helpful to get an idea of the layout and everything else, if that's possible. So that's just a suggestion, and obviously I didn't want to make it before the vote, but just prior to it coming to committee, I think that would be very useful. Thank you.
Yes, Craig, I think also in the circumstances it would be appropriate if we have a little bus trip down there one afternoon.
Yes, Chair, I agree with Councillor Brown. I think it'd be prudent for members to go to site and to view the site. So we will arrange that when the application is ready to be presented to the planning committee.
Right, thank you, Craig. And in fact, not my dog. And finally, if I can take you to agenda item number 7, that's for information. The planning inspector's appeal decision received in respect of 73 Park Road, Caldecott. Phil Thomas, do you want to make any comment on that?
Yes, Chair, I can show a presentation. Would members benefit from that to remind themselves of the issues?
I think we've got plenty of time. Why not?
Yep. Okay, I'll share the presentation that we've put together on that one. Right. Sorry, bear with me. It's just loading up. Can members see that?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Good. So yeah, this was an application. It was an outline application that members considered back in December last year, so about a year ago. Land adjoining 73 Park Road in Caldecott. So the area is characterised, you can see from the slides, by small terraces and semi-detached houses, and 73 benefits from a large side garden. So the plan was to build 2 semi-detached units in the garden of number 73. The recommendation is the garden there as it stands now. There is an attached building, an extension to the house, which would be removed to accommodate the 2 units there. If members recall, it was recommended for refusal by officers due to overdevelopment, out of character with the street scene, and overbearing impact on the neighbour to the north, the one at Elm Avenue, I think it is, which we'll look at now. And the inspector agreed. That's the area in between, in that grassed area where the proposed units would go. That's the garden looking towards number 1 Elm Road, sorry, not Avenue, which would be impacted by having a large 2-story gable wall facing right on towards its rear elevation. That's the gap there, so the extension will be removed to accommodate repair. So the main conclusions from the appeal decision were the proposed houses would not be well related to the dwellings in the area or the pattern of development. It would unacceptably harm the character and appearance of the area, contrary to policy DES 1 of the LDP, and it would have a dominating and overbearing built form and impact on the residential amenity of 1 Elm Road, having an overbearing impact too close to the rear elevation, contrary to policies EP1 and DES 1 again of the LTP. So yeah, so that was the decision. The members were vindicated, as were officers in this instance.
Right, thank you very much. I was going to say, yet another win for our officers, getting it right.
And members.
Yeah, indeed. Led by officers.
Yeah.
Right. Well, unless any members have got any further comments, I think we've reached the end of our agenda. So I can't see any hands going up anywhere.
Can I just ask a question, please, Chair? I couldn't see a hand opportunity.
Far away.
Yeah, thank you. Only briefly, and I was glad to see the outcome on this one, because I think we all supported the recommendations in the report, and I think, unless I've mixed this up with another appeal decision, I was pleased to see the reference to the effect on the visual amenity of the parking spaces to the front, because I think one of the things that causes great detriment to street scene is where front gardens are given over to almost nothing but parking spaces, and just creates an awful lot of hard landscaping and hard forms, which I think cumulatively are not good. Just very quickly then, to Phil or anyone else who knows the answer, have we got many outstanding appeals that are way beyond their original target dates? I know Phil and I had some brief email conversation about the shambles that's happened with the appeals going over to the new Welsh service from PINS, and I know I'm waiting on one in my ward for the Greenfield site, which should have reported back in August, but still hasn't. There's no decision on the horizon, and I just wondered if Phil or Craig had heard anything about when the backlog and access to an online service is likely to be put back in place. Thanks.
Craig, do you want me to respond to that? Hello? Yeah, sorry, can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
There are some outstanding appeals. We must share the same issues that Councillor Howard does with his job in Rhondda and Taff. There's one appeal for a lawful development certificate in the Tinton area that's months and months old. So we haven't had that. I know that PINS, or is it PEDU as they're called now, are disrupted by the transition to their new IT systems. That may have had some impact on the reporting, but there are a number of appeals that are outstanding. Not many, but there are some outstanding that we're still waiting for. And indeed, the Greenfields one is one. I think the inspectorate were asking about questions about phosphates. So we responded to that about 10 days ago, I think. So that's something that hopefully we'll get a decision on in the very near future. Don't know whether Craig wants to add to what I've just said.
You mute.
Chair, is okay if I come in? Yep.
Yeah, fine, thank you. Carry on.
Yes, Councillor Howard, I think there is, as Phil's explained, there's a couple of appeals which have taken a bit longer than both PEDU and ourselves probably would like to occur, and that is due to phosphates and the complications with regards to considering this new piece of guidance from Natural Resources Wales, and also changes in PEDW itself. What we can do, though, if it's useful to members, is maybe get a list of outstanding appeals in Monmouthshire, and we can share this with the planning committee so that you've got a full list of what is outstanding at the moment. So yeah, more than happy for us to do that if members would like that.
Yeah, I think that would be useful. See where we are. See what we got to look forward to.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll certainly do that piece of work.
Okay, thanks. Well, members, I think that's brought the afternoon to a close, and thank you for appointing me as temporary chair of this committee. So,
Thank you, Chair.
we'll all go home now.
Chair,
Yes.